map list. Let's see where we're going today. It's going to be Nepal, then Nimbani for a hybrid map, Anubis, and fight. That's the thing. If you're going to engage with the Winston jump, you better make sure you get a killer shot of that. Otherwise, you're in trouble here. There's the grab coming in from Boston. Catches Fissure up. Can they get the kill, though? They send out the self-destruct. Not going to do anything really too much. Now the grab comes in on the Soul side, but again, no kills from those ultimates. That said, Soul Dynasty still not on the point. Sound Barrier comes in, Fusion's low health, has to escape while he's in that Primal Rage. Another self-destruct. Oh, that time it caught Kelix. And now Boston in a little bit of trouble here, as suddenly Soul Dynasty with a big advantage in this fight. Looks like they're gonna flip this one back.
And Michelle's self-destruct made so much space by forcing 3 members of the Boston.
But Soul just unwilling to do that now, and I think they might pay for that here. All right, Earthshatter knocks down. No, they need more than that. Now Graviton Surge sent in. Can they get some kills? That's 3 for Michelle. That's the play that Soul was looking for, but already 99% for Boston. I don't know if Soul, even if they take it now, where is it?
I think he's gonna find it.
Oh, well, he's gonna block Fissures first of all. There's the Sunbreak going back in. Full Shatter's blocked. It's gonna be the self-destruct, though, thrown in by Michelle. Oh, that was a sick charge from Fissure. The boop as well, setting up Fusions. They've got the tools. And they're gonna go into the self-destruct. Ooh, the Shatter, and that's gonna be Munchkin get caught by it, but they get Aim God on the other side. There goes Blase as well. So Soul Dynasty, Fleta striking back, but that is a very charged up Color X. If he can get some good damage in there, but I think you just want to save the grab here. Backing away now. Boston Uprising may just hand this one over for the moment. Yep, there goes Fusions. And so it looks like it's the old die on the point strategy, just getting there. They're kind of the defenders or the attackers. Oh, that was a nice one. 2 tanks knocked out by that Shatter, but they got to finish up. There's a grab. Self-destruct comes in. Can they get rid of the Ryan Shield? I think they did. Enough to kill Color Hex anyway. They got him out from behind him, but there goes Munchkin. Oh, and a bigger Shatter coming in from Fusions, trying to capitalize on it with a couple support kills, and they do flip it back. Again, blows dealt to both sides. Boston Uprising getting the flip, but Soul Dynasty not giving it up just yet. They might have a chance here. They have to wait a little bit. There's the self-destruct. Fleta getting charged up from that one. Michelle did get caught for that. They're going to use the grab. I don't know about that one, Monty.
We'll see if they can get back in. They have Azaria and 3 supports on the point right now. Reinhardt has returned, so maybe they can knock this one out.
Perhaps. They have a lot of low health members over on the Boston side. Boston scrambling here, and there goes the Reinhardt and the Brigida and the Note, which is lame, the map. Going in there now. Fleta biding his time. There's a grab for Soul Dynasty. It's going to be the Transcendence right away for Aim God. Michelle with the self-destruct. No kills out of that one, but it does deny a lot of grab damage for Boston. Fissure needs some healing. Get low. Fusion's waiting in. Gets the kill with a bit of help from Note. Soul Dynasty reeling here. They're losing everybody, and now the Sound Barrier for Boston is going to help them flip the point, but it's 99% for Soul. If they scramble, they've got one more fight.
I don't know if they do, though. That's the thing. They're going to have to get onto this point really quickly. They already have a hammer down. But Fusions counter-shattering off of the Graviton Surge got them enough time. No follow-up damage from the Dynasty. So it's going to be a wrecking ball here. Fissure trying to get on. Can't even get on the point. That's it.
That is it. Boston Uprising will take Nepal 2-1.
Highlight we had from Jexy booping everybody into the 4K.
Color Hex walking forward, looking for that grab again. Ooh, Jaehoong popping the Transcendence almost preemptively. Oh, that is a nice Shatter, though. Soul Dynasty trying to counteract the grab by getting the stun. Instead, Jaehoong, though, cannot stay alive. The Sound Barrier just a bit late to save the Zenyatta. Now the grab for Soul Dynasty. They need a lot out of this. If they're going to turn this fight around, not going to get a whole lot. In fact, they're going to lose Fissure instead. Michelle self-destructing on the cart.
Oh, Michelle reback just barely.
Yeah, he's going to buy a little bit of time, but gonna get DMEC pretty soon here. Looks like he's just gonna run, but somebody needs to get onto this payload here. 2 minutes left in the time bank for Boston Uprising, and Munchkin does get Fusion, so maybe, wow, so barely pulling that fight out in the end.
Yeah, Color Hex dying late is critically the rockets, so that Fusions is safe.
Sure. Fissure waiting for it, going in. Oh, and they've got taken out.
Okay.
And that's a mid-air shot onto Kelix. Justice raining onto Boston, it looks like. That's going to be a double kill from Fleta's far off. He's up on the high ground there, yep.
There's going to be a lot of trouble for Boston.
Munchkin's looking for him. There's the EMP. Aim God pops the trance just in time. And now Fissure, though, he gets an enormous Shatter off the back of those hacks. Aim God, though, with the trance, prevents nearly all the damage. And now Fusions comes back in. Kill on to Jackson. Both Lucio's going down. And Soul Dynasty, again, not able to really convert that into a lot of kills. That said, though, in the ensuing fight, they just brawl it out. What a... Got a little bit low. Oh, they're going to go into Munchkin again. It's going to force Jaehong to transcend. They nearly lost a few more members. Fusion's a bit low. It's going to be another transfer.
Great shatter.
Great shatter comes in from Fusion. They're going to combine it with Fliz. Grab and the self-destruct. The boot gets Blasé. Oh, but Soul caught in the reverse grab from Color Hex. And that is the opposite of what you want of your Soul, but Boston is going to be pretty overjoyed. That is going to be a lot more distance on that payload for them.
That is the second.
Plata goes in, gets aggressive, he's nearly got that grab, goes in for kill NameGod, and he's gonna barrage the hallway, gets a couple kills, even one on Diffusion, and that's gonna be Seoul Dynasty.
Advance this card to force a fight right now.
You gotta go crazy now. Here's the sound barrier. Jaehong going into the Transcendence, Seoul putting everything they've got into this one push. Now the grab though for Boston, and that's gonna be the end of it. Boston Uprising destroying through Seoul. It was a foregone conclusion. If you looked at the ult economy, it was gonna have to be a miracle for Seoul Dynasty to win this fight, but that means it will be Boston Uprising going up 2-0 in this series.
Yeah, Boston ground out enough time to get their ult economy.
You know, remember, we talked about it, that the strength that we thought they would have is Dynasty scrambling. They've got Fleda's grab, but we'll see when they use it. That's gonna be a grab for the Boston side. Here comes a bigger bang. No kills out of that one though. Now the shatter comes in from Fusion's counter shatter onto Seoul. That's gonna be Jexa taken out, and Boston with a good start here in this fight.
NameGod fragging out too.
Yeah, man.
Again, dealing a lot of damage, and now the control percent is going to start to work up in favor of Boston.
Boston Uprising, they come out of this halftime looking even better than they did going into it. They're looking unstoppable right now. What can you say? It's going to be a sound barrier from Seoul as they try to find some sort of purchase on the point. Jaehong does kill Fusions, and maybe off the back of that shatter from Fissure, they'll be able to win a fight. Looks right now, neither team really wanted to give it the inch. There's the grab. Fleta just lobs it in. He was watching that defense matrix cool down. Ooh, that self-destruct clearing off a lot of the shields that Boston had. Now Fissure goes down, though. They're able to turn it back around, and Seoul Dynasty, again, just gets Munchkin. Hiding for it. All right, there's the grab. Gets eaten. Both grabs eaten at the same time. Sound barriers over both teams now. Ultimate parity here is both self-destructs get used as well. And finally, Fusion's taken out by Munchkin. Fissure responding as well. And Seoul Dynasty, after one of the weirdest engages I have seen ultimates, as they walk into this, NameGod not afraid. He's got the Transcendence, but now he gets stunned. Oh, that's dangerous. They do have the sound barrier, though. Fled it down. He can't quite do it. Oh, but there's a 3K from Michelle. That self-destruct is huge for Seoul. Can they chain this into a point A take, though? Finishing off note. Now you got to get back now. Seoul Dynasty still just waiting, but it's 1-for-1 now for Boston, just trickling people onto the point. And eventually, they're going to have to give this one up. There's a grab, all right. Munchkin trapped in it. Jaehong there with the trance. Things are still going okay for Seoul Dynasty. No being annoying. They're just going to solo shatter him to try to finish this one off. But there are more respawns. Can they get there? No. And Seoul Dynasty keeps themselves alive in this series. They will take Anubis.
Yeah, and note through the self-destructs for the Boston Uprising. That last up at 27 for the Seoul Dynasty. And
I mean, as long as they're buying time, I suppose that's that. There's a Transcendence for Jaehong. From behind comes a Sombra. That's a big shatter coming in from Fissure here. Color X knocked down, but he gets saved by NameGod's ultimate. Fissure, though, not so lucky as he's taken out by the Boston Uprising. That's going to be the end of that fight. Seoul Dynasty, now they have a chance to switch here. Will they do it? Wanting to find that grab. There's the rallies coming in. Oh, Fissure knocked down by Fusion's Earth Shatter. Again, winning that Rhine duel, but here comes a grab. Can they get any kills out of it? That's a nice counter shatter from Fissure. Michelle with the self-destruct doesn't find any, but they do get Blasé anyway. During the fight, there goes Fusion. So Seoul Dynasty, once again, barely able to take this fight. Nearly bounced out Fissure there. He's gonna get it now. Oh, he does, but they do have the Transcendence to keep people alive. Sound barrier for Kellex. Sliding around the corner, getting it on as many people as he can. Pushing Seoul off to the side now. It's making Fissure play very cautiously here. And now they're going to get aggressive with NameGod's Transcendence. Fissure responds with the counter shatter. And there goes Blasé. Here comes the self-destruct. No kills out of that. But again, it's all about pushing Boston back, creating the space for Seoul Dynasty to win that fight.
And they got no movement out of
Ready to go. Seoul Dynasty with all their defensive ultimates set. There's the grab. Gonna try to go with the self-destruct again. Can they get the right out of the way? They can. They get Jexa. They don't get the sound barrier off. Jexa dies. Actually did use it just in time, but it doesn't matter. Boston Uprising winning this fight regardless. Sunbearer not doing it for Seoul Dynasty. Now we're under 10 seconds, and I don't think Seoul can even get back to the point.
Oh, they got Jaehong right now at the end of it.
Jexay able to, oh, he gets stunned, booped away. Can he get there? Yes, he gets there just in time to get overtime. But how in the world do you win this as Seoul Dynasty? I don't think you do. Fissure walking forward here. They got aim god, but they're gonna need a lot more. OT taken away. Fissure comes in for the charge, but it's still gonna be Boston finding the kills that they need. Seoul Dynasty on their last legs, and in the end, it is gonna be a 3-1 victory in this series for Boston Uprising.
I think Boston was exceptional tonight.
I agree.
Very